Good morning to all of you. Yesterday we did the question answers of lesson number 5, the 100 dresses. Today I am going to explain you the rest of the textual exercises. Now open your books, page number 71, thinking about language. Look at these sentences. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat. The corner of the room where there was most scuffing of feet. Scuffing, I already told you, where there was too much noise. The time when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours. These italicized which are not printed straight, तिरछे लिखे हुए हैं. Clauses help us to identify a set of boys, a place and a time. They are answers to the questions: what kind of rough boys, which corner did she sit in, and what particular time outside of school hours. See carefully. First question, what kind of rough boys? We are getting its answer in A part, who did not make good marks. Again, which corner did she sit in? Place is asked here. Now, A part, where there was most scuffing of feet. Then, third, time is asked. What particular time outside of school hours? B part, the time when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours. Here we are getting the answers. So, they are defining our restrictive relative clauses. Compare them with the non-defining relative clauses discussed in Unit 1. Unit 1 stands for lesson number 1. In lesson number 1, we did non-defining clauses which do not define. Here, he has taken the defining are the restrictive relative clauses. Relative stands for those who relate. So, although this lesson clauses has been deducted by the board for this year from your grammar syllabus, but to solve this exercise, we must know what is a clause. As far as clause is concerned, a group of words which forms part of sentence and contains a subject and predicate is called a clause. So, a group of words that makes a part of another sentence and it has a subject and predicate also is called a clause. For example, he has a chain which is made of gold. Here, which is joining the two sentences, he has a chain. This is a one sentence. Chain is made of gold. These are the two sentences which we have combined. He has a chain which is made of gold. Here you can see which is made of gold is a clause. This clause has a subject which stands for the chain. It is a subject. Is made of gold is predicate. So, I think now it's clear to you what is a clause. I may tell you a combination of words which has a complete sense is called a sentence. For example, Geeta is my best friend. Secondly, if we talk about the phrase, a phrase is also a group of words. It has a meaning, but it has no complete sense. It has no verb, no predicate. For example, on the table. For example, in the east, in the morning. It has the meaning, but it is not complete. So, a clause like a sentence has the subject and predicate, but it becomes the part of another sentence. So, now we combine the following to make sentences like those above. Before this, I may define you. Defining are the restrictive clauses. The clause that clearly identifies or describes noun or pronoun is called restrictive or defining clause. For example, here is the example: servants who are honest are trusted. In the defining clause, this clause defines about the subject. Here the subject is servants. Sentence is servants are trusted. Servants, those who are honest. Who are honest is the defining clause because it has the subject. Who stands for the servants, are honest is the predicate. So, this clause is telling us about the subject. That is why it is termed as defining clause. In lesson 1, which he has said that you can compare the both, that is the non-defining clauses are the non-restricted clauses. The clause that do not describe or define the noun or pronoun to which it refers only gives additional information. Here I am stressing additional information which is not essential for meaning is known as non-defining or non-restrictive clause. Non-restrictive relative clause. They are separated from the main clause by commas. We can separate it by commas. Here I have given example of non-defining clause. Example is Finland, where I had my education, has many lakes. This is an example of non-defining clause because this clause, this non-defining clause where I had my education, it is not telling us anything about the subject of Finland. It is not telling us about Finland. It's an additional information that I had my education in Finland. So, where the information is not about the main subject, that is termed as the non-defining clause. Now, we turn to the exercise. Combine the following to make sentences like those above. This is the bus. It goes to Agra. Here two sentences. This is the bus. One sentence. It goes to Agra. Here the instructions are given. Use which are that. So, we can put a question, what kind of bus? That goes to Agra. So, out of which and that, we have chosen that. This is the bus that goes to Agra. Sentence number 2, I would like to buy shirt. One sentence. Second sentence, the shirt is in the shop window. Now, we have to join it. Using which are that, we can make the sentence, I would like to buy a shirt which is in the shop window. Sentence number 3, you must break your fast. This is the one sentence. Second, you see the moon in the sky. We have to use when. Now we can put a question. At what particular time? We can say here, when you see the moon in the sky. You must break fast when you see the moon in the sky. This is the answer. Sentence number 4, find a word. This is one sentence. Find a word. It begins with the letter Z. Now we have to join these two. Use which are that. We can make it find a word which begins with the letter Z. So which begins with the letter is the class. Then sentence number 5. Now find a person. His or her name begins with the letter Z. Now find a person. This is the one sentence. Second, his or her name begins with the letter Z. Now we have to join using whose. Now find a person whose name begins with the letter Z. Then sentence number 6. Then go to a place. One sentence. There are no people whose name begin with Z. So what place? Here we have to use where. Then go to a place where there are no people whose name begins with Z. So I have solved this exercise for you. Now next exercise, the narrative voice. Narrative stands for the narrator's point of view. The description of a story, in Hindi you can say Varnan Karta. This story is in the third person, that is the narrator is not a participant in the story. He is not a part of the story, he is not a character in the story, but the narrator often seems to tell the story from the point of view of one of the characters in the story. For example, look at the italicized words in this sentence. Thank goodness. These are the italicized words. These are not written straight. She did not live up on Boggin's Heights or have a funny name. These italicized words are not spoken by any of the character in the story. Whose thoughts do the words thank goodness express? Maddie's, who is grateful that although she is poor, she is yet not as poor as Wanda, are as different. So although these words are not spoken by her, thank goodness, but she is thinking about all this, so she does not get these. She is thankful about that. So here are these thank goodness were the views of the narrator. Here are two other sentences from the story. Can you say whose point of view the italicized words express? But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who did not track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda was not there. So part of story is, but on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie did not notice Wanda's absence. But the narrator's point of view is, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who did not track in the whole lot of mud. So you have to give its answer that this is the narrator's point of view. Sentence number 2, Wanda Petronsky. Most of the children in room 13 did not have names like that. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith or Ellen. Here again the narrator's point of view is given here. The answer is the narrator's point of view. Then he has given a task to you. can you find other such sentences in the story? You can do this after you read the second part of the story as well. Our lesson number 6 is also the 100 dresses part 2nd. You can do this activity after doing the second lesson. If you wish to do it, you can do from this lesson today. For example, the words Peggy was not really cruel. This is the narrator's point of view. But nobody, not even Peggy and Maddie, who started all the fun, noticed her absence. This is also narrator's point of view. I have given 2 examples from the lesson. The rest of the sentences you find yourself. Now, next exercise. Look at this sentence. The italicized adverb expresses an opinion or point of view. Obviously is adverb here. You can say its meaning is easily seen, clearly seen. The only dress Wanda had was the blue one she wore every day. This was obvious to the speaker. So, you must know what are the adverbs. I am giving you here the definition of adverb. The adverb usually modifies, or you can say usually qualifies a verb, an adjective or another adverb. Understand it? I am giving here the example how these adverbs qualify or modify. I have given the definition. The adverbs usually qualify a verb, adjective or another adverb. Example I am giving here. He ran slowly. Now, in this sentence, ran is verb and slowly is adverb. Because slowly is modifying ran. It is telling us how he ran. He ran slowly. So, qualifying verb. Qualifying verb. Verb is ran. So, sentence number 2. Geeta is a very beautiful girl. Here in this sentence, very is adverb, beautiful is adjective. So, here the verb adverb very is qualifying the adjective, qualifying adjective. Then Ram, sentence 3, Ram played extremely well. Here, extremely is adverb, well is adverb. Here, qualifying adverb. So, the adverbs usually modify a verb, an adjective and another adverb. Qualifying, you can add the word here, another adverb. Then adverbs can also modify a preposition. Adverbs can also modify a preposition. Example, you are entirely. Entirely is adverb. In the wrong. In is here preposition. Preposition. So here the adverb entirely is modifying the preposition in. So preposition here qualifying preposition. Then adverbs can also modify a complete sentence. Example, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we lost the match. Unfortunately is the adverb. We lost the match, sentence. Here it is qualifying sentence. So the adverbs qualify the verb, the adjective, another adverb, preposition and sentence. Now we have to do the exercise. Other such adverbs are apparently. Apparently means seemingly, दिखने में. Evidently. Evidently means very clearly. Surprisingly, possibly, hopefully, incredibly. Incredibly means which is hard to believe, not believable. Luckily, use these words appropriately. Appropriately means in a right manner in the blanks in the sentences below. You may use a word more than once. Words are less, sentences are more. We can repeat the words, and more than one word may be appropriate for a given blank. And different words, more than one words can be appropriate for that. Sentence number 1, dash he finished, I am giving you the answers here. Dash he finished his work on time. You can give its answer, luckily he finished his work on time. Sentence number 2, it will not rain on the day of the match. You can add here, hopefully. Sentence number 3, dash he had been stealing money from his employer. You can give the answer, possibly he had been stealing money from his employer. Adverbs are qualifying, modifying the sentences. Television is dash to blame for the increase in violence in society. Here you can fill the word evidently. Television is evidently to blame for the increase in violence in the society. Sentence 5, the children will dash learn from their mistake. Hopefully, the children will hopefully learn from their mistakes. Sentence number 6, I cannot dash lend you that much money. I cannot, possibly, it is not possible for me. Possibly, adverb you have to fill. I cannot possibly lend you that much money. Sentence number 7, the thief had dash been watching the house for many days. The thief had apparently, seemingly, it seems so, it is apparent so, apparently been watching the house for many days. Sentence number 8, the thief dash escaped by bribing the jailer. Here you can fill the word incredibly. The thief incredibly escaped by bribing the jailer. Sentence number 9, dash, no one had suggested this before. Surprisingly, you can add, surprisingly no one had suggested this before. Sentence number 10, the water was dash hot. Dash hot here means you can add the word, the water was evidently, clearly hot. So, we have completed lesson number 5, its question answer, its exercises. Now, go through the lesson, learn all the things properly, utilize your time fully. Thank you.